Welcome students to the College Ranker India. So today we are seeing the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So now we will not wait further because I think this much students have joined right now. So we will start the session. Now quickly I will share my screen. So today in this session we are seeing the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So students, if you have any doubts or any queries, you can put in the chat box, and if I am not audible clearly, you can put message in the chat box. Okay, and this session must be interactive, so you just have to put some messages if I will ask some questions or if you have some doubts. Okay, so I think I am audible clearly to you, and my screen is also visible to you. Now we will start the session. So today we are seeing the introduction and roadmap to the web development. So what we are seeing today is the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. After that we are having next two sessions. In that sessions we will be seeing two basic projects from of JavaScript. So we will be seeing some basic project on HTML, CSS, and then after that JavaScript. So in the last of this internship program you have to submit one project. Will be give you some topics. On the basis of that topics you have to do some you have to create one website or you can create one project like this. So we have to submit that project to us, and we will be evaluating the project on the basis of the requirements in the topics. Okay, so like this today we are seeing just introduction of basic introduction of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. If you don't know what is HTML, what is web technology, how internet works, what is websites, then the session is for you. Okay, so if no one has any doubt, I can proceed. I can, if you have any doubts you can put in the chat box. So I will wait for half a minute. If you have any queries, so you can put in the chat box. Okay, so otherwise I will start the session. Okay, fine. So we'll be starting some journey, our journey to the web development. So so we'll be seeing the basics of web. So what is web actually? Okay, so what happens when you type URL and hit enter? So you know the websites which we use in our day-to-day life, like anything. So it is used with the help of browser. So we use browsers to open the websites like Chrome, Mozilla, Fire, or any Edge, or any browser on your mobile devices. Okay, so these are the browsers which we use to access the internet. So there is an address bar in the browser section. Okay, so when we put URL or uniform resource locator, it is called as uniform resource locator. So when you put some link or websites URL and hit enter on the browser, so what happens? So we'll be seeing the how website works, like what happens when we click on this browser. So what happens is that your machine is a client. Okay, so we called it as a client. Now what happens is that every device connected to the internet has its own IP address. Like if your device is connected to the internet, which has access to the internet, so what happens is that internet access assign his some IP address or called as uniform address. So what happens is that it is used to uh, identify your device uniquely. So and similarly the website which is hosted on the any server on the internet is also having some IP address. Okay, so what happens is that your request from goes from your device to the internet. Like if you type in the Chrome, like google.com, so what happens is that the request from your device goes to the Google server. So what happens is that it goes to the server of the Google, and it will be seeing it will give the pages to your device. Like if you are requesting some homepage of your some website, so what happens is that it will go, the request will go from client to server, and the server will respond with some content of the website like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, so this is the flow of the server, like client server architecture. Okay, so this is the sample website where someone has developed a website, and the text of the or the content of the website is hello world. Okay, so this text is visible on the screen if the whatever the text. So someone has typed helloworld.com. Okay, so in this slide you can see we have written helloworld.com. Okay, so whatever the content of the website is on the server, it will be displayed on the client's device. So like this, you can see this in action with the Chrome. So what you can do, you can just open the Chrome and you can just type any website, youtube.com, google.com, or we have joined this Meet, so we can also see that meet.google.com. So like this, you can see and action what how internet works or how website works. Okay, so we have seen the client server architecture right now. So we will be seeing what is web development. Okay, so anyone has any idea what is web development? Okay, so if you have anything to say, you can put in the chat box. Okay, I am here to answer your queries or your questions. So if anyone has any idea about what is web development or what is what we do in web development, so you can put in the chat box. Okay, fine. So like web development is the thing like building sites and applications for the world wide web. Okay, so what is world wide web? So world wide web is a collection of websites which is available on the internet, like to which is accessible to all over the world. So the web, building websites for the world wide web is called as web development. So like we have seen, we can access the YouTube all over the all over the world. You can use Facebook. So wherever you are, you can access the internet. So for that, we have to build some websites and applications, web applications on the web, on the internet. So for that, which is called as building the building the web and applications for the world wide web. So it is called as web development. So for this building this web applications, you have to know the basics of what is front end development, what is back end development. So the developers who write code for the for developing websites is called as web developers. Okay, so right now we have to become a web developer. So for that, we are seeing what is front end development, what is back end development. So we will be seeing so the like we have seen we use Chrome. Okay, so on the Chrome, if you write youtube.com, okay, so you will be seeing some thumbnails of YouTube videos and the home button or the different types of buttons, playlist. Okay, so history. So there are different types of buttons and there are different types of user interfaces or design on the website. Okay, so this type of development is called as front end development. Okay, so the whatever the things which are visible to the user, it is developed by the front end developer. So it is also called as client side code. So the user which is on the internet is called as client, and the server or the computer where the your website is hosted is called as server. So client is what? Client is just a user of our website. So for our user, what we have to do is that we have to create some designs, we have to put some content on this for the user. So it is called as front end development. Okay, but what backend development is that? The backend development is the behind the scenes thing. So after we go on to the email. Okay, email. Okay, so we have email client like Gmail or Yahoo Mail. So there are different types of email service providers. So what we do is that we go to the gmail.com. Okay, so after going to the gmail.com, it asks you to sign in. Okay, so after we put our email ID and password, so what happens is that it will be authenticated by the automated system which is hosted at the server of that Google. Okay, so what happens is that it will be authenticated if the username and password is correct, or your email and password is correct. You will be redirected to the your inbox of your email. Okay, so these things are handled with the help of server side code. Okay, so this code is written in the at the time of at the back end of our website. So there is one front end part which is visible to the user, like its emails, its list of emails, its like its inbox. So there are different types of tabs and designs and different types of interfaces which is visible to the user on the screen. Okay, this type of thing is developed by the front end developer, or it is called as client side code. But the authentication part, the login part, the when we click on the send button in the email, so email is sent from uh, your uh, your account to another user's account. Okay, so this type of things is handled with the help of backend developer. Okay, so this is called as backend development. So behind the scenes, whatever happens on the server is developed with the help of server side code. Okay, so I think you have clear like what is front end development, what is backend development. So when we are starting our journey in the web development, so we must have to know the basic difference between front end development and back end development. So if students, if you are not cleared about right now what is front end and back end, you can put in the chat box. Okay, so what we have seen here is the front end development and back end development, but the developer who knows both of these technologies, like who knows front end development also and back end development also, is also called as full stack developer. Okay, so for what full stack developer is that he knows the front end and back end part also. So uh, the in your web development journey, you must have to become a full stack developer. So for that, you have to learn first of all front end development. Then after that, you have to learn back end development. So after that, you will be become a full stack developer. So we are focusing on the basics of front end today. So what we are doing today is that we are seeing HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the technologies we are seeing the basics of these technologies, how these technologies works into the today's session. Okay, so the foundations of front end development are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now you must have know. If you don't know, it's fine. But HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are the core technologies of front end development. So we will be saying what HTML, CSS, and JavaScript do in our like websites. So I think you have must seen the car. Okay, so structure of our car, like metallic body of our car, is just like HTML of our website. Then after that, we design our car with the help of colors, with the help of stickers, or with the help of like the accessories of our car. So it is just a look and feel of our car. So it is just with the help. It is analogical to our like websites CSS part or CSS code. Okay, then after that, like our car's engine or our car's functional part like wheels, brakes. Okay, so all these things are used to control our car or move our car. So it is the functional part of our car. So it is just like our JavaScript code of our website. So I think you have been clear like what HTML does, CSS does, and JavaScript does. So like similar like this, we can analyze with the help of our human body. So in human body we are having some bone structure. So we are having structure of our bones. So it is just like our HTML part of our website. And after that, we are having our brain and our muscles. Okay, so with the help of brain and muscles, we use our logic, we are using our functionality of our body. So with the help of that, we are achieving some things. So it is just like a JavaScript part of our website. So we are putting some logic in our website with the help of JavaScript. Then after that, CSS. So our skin, our hairstyle, our clothes, these are the types of things which we use to design ourselves. So this is just a part of this is just like a CSS of our website. So we'll be saying what is HTML now. So I think my slides is a little bit of lagging. So what is HTML? So we'll be saying we have seen like HTML is a bone structure of our website. So the long form of HTML is hypertext markup language. Okay, so what hypertext markup language is that? We'll be saying word by word what is hypertext markup language. So hypertext is just like links. Okay, so hypertext is just like links. So we share different types of links of different posts of Instagram, Facebook, Reels, okay, to our friends and families. So like that, these links are also called as hypertext. So it is also called as hypertext is just like the piece of text which is referred to the another piece of text. Okay, so just like if if you are developing one website, there is some links which will be redirected to the another website's content. Okay, so if you can see, if you are using your Gmail, okay, if you are using email, So what happens is that if someone sends you an meeting joining link, okay, over email, so what happens is that if you click on the joining link, you will be redirected to the joining page of Zoom meeting or Google Meet meeting or any meeting, okay. So you will be redirected to the that application or that link on the new tab for your Chrome. So like that, links are used to redirect users from one website to another, or one content to another content. So this is also called as hypertext. Okay, then we'll be seeing what is markup. So markup is just like the text which is visible on the any devices or the screen of your digital devices. So whatever you will be seeing on this in this meeting, it is visible on your mobile device or laptop device, okay. So this type of text which is visible on the screen is also called as markup. So we can design markup like we can uh, put some styles, tags, okay, onto this we can put some designs on this markup. So the text which is visible on the digital devices is called as markup, okay. And then we'll be seeing what is language. So it is a language which you have to learn. So there is some syntax and semantics for this language, so which we have to learn. So it is called as hypertext markup language, okay. So we'll be seeing some basic codes or the basics of HTML. So now right now you can see there are different tags of HTML. So we'll be seeing first of all what is tag, okay. So students, if you have any doubts like my voice is not audible clearly, you can put in the chat box, so I can fix that issue, okay. Or if you have any doubts, you can just ask me in the chat box, okay. So we have seen what is HTML, what is long form of HTML. Now we are seeing like what are the tags which you have to see. So these are the different tags you can see on the screen. But first of all, what is tag? So tag is just we are using angular bracket, okay. So or the less than sign. After that we are using some text, okay. After that we are using greater than sign or closing angular bracket, okay. So this is the thing. So after that we are writing the content of our tag. After that we are using opening angular bracket and then slash sign and the name of the tag and then closing angular bracket. So inside this angular brackets we are writing the name of our tag, okay. So this is the structure of our like a tag, we are using opening tag, and we are after writing our content we are using closing tag. So in this first line you can see em tag is here, okay, or it is also called as emphasize tag, okay. So what this emphasize tag does is that it will turn the text into italics of our content, our content here inside this tag is this is emphasized text, okay. So after writing this code, what this tag does is that it will change this text to emphasized text, okay. So how to write this em tag or any tag? You just have to use this opening angular bracket, closing angular bracket, and inside that you have to write the tag name. And after writing the content, you have to close this tag with just writing after angular bracket slash sign, okay. So we have to open a particular tag, then we have to write some content inside that tag, and after that we have to close the tag, okay. Similarly, we are having the next tag, you can see p tag, okay. So it is also called as paragraph tag. So we use this paragraph tag to display the text or content as it is on the screen. So if like we have written here hello, okay. So after that we have written here some button tag, okay. So what this button tag does is that uh, if you have to display some button on the website, you can use this button tag. So we have written content as submit. So what this content does is that the we can see here the if after writing this code or this tag, you can see a submit button on the screen, okay. So tag describes structure and the content of the page. So we are defining some structure and content of the page with the help of HTML, okay. So we'll be seeing another some HTML tags we have seen the paragraph tag in the previous slides, okay. So after that we have also seen button tag. So you can see in the after that you are seeing the OL tag, okay. So what OL tag does is that OL tag is just like the ordered list tag, okay. So inside that ordered list tag we are having list items. So if you have to create some list of some things like to-do list or some list of some entities or items on the your website, so what you can do is that you can just use OL tag, okay. So it is a ordered list tag. Inside that you have to write list items. So OL is the parent tag and LI is the child tag, okay. So it is also called as tags are also called as elements in HTML. So you can also see that OL is the parent element and LI is the child element. So you can see the closing tag of OL is after the list items tag. Okay, so in this first list item tag you can see first ordered list item. In the second line you can see second ordered list item. So there are different, if you want to add different more list items, you can just add after that. Okay, so after that you can see the a tag or anchor tag. So what anchor tag is used is that it is used to link different links to our website. Like we have written here, href is equal to the link of a website. Okay, so inside this you can see we are having some attributes. So uh, you can see in the anchor tag we are having href attributes. So attributes are the piece of you can define properties and values like structure. So there are definite properties for the definite tags. So anchor tag is having href property. If you are having image tag is having source property. Okay, so there are different types of attributes associated with different types of tags. So the first so we can see here the href tag. So inside this href tag we have to provide the link of actual link of another website or your own website. Okay, you can provide it for your own website or some different websites. So after that we have written some content of this anchor tag like acm website. So after clicking on this acm website text, you will be redirected to the this website acm.cs.ucla.edu. Okay, so if you want to add some links to your website, you can use anchor tag. So after that you can see here input tag. So what input tag does is that we use this input tag in the forms of our website. Like if you have to add some forms to your website, so for that you can use input tag. So inside this input tag we have written the type is text and the placeholder is input stuff here. So you can also write a placeholder as put some value here, write your name, enter your name. Okay, so placeholder is just like text which is displayed until you put some input there. Okay, and the type of this input is text. So we'll be seeing this action in after the I will explain the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So we'll be seeing this in action today only. Okay, so if you haven't understood this all these things, we'll be explaining these things again practically. Okay, so like that we have to use HTML should you have written here, like remember that HTML should only represent the content. Okay, so why it is written here like that? Because HTML is just a part of our structure of our website. Okay, but we can define the width, height and the styles of with the help of HTML also, but we don't have to do that because we are having one special language called as CSS to style the our website. Like first in the previous versions of HTML you are having different attributes to style the HTML the website. Okay, but we are having another language CSS. So for that we just have to use HTML for the structure of our website, and the designing part we have to use CSS. Okay, so we'll be seeing what is CSS. So CSS is called as cascading style sheets. Okay, so we create rules like this text should be read, there should be 20 pixels between these two elements, this navigation bar should stick to the top of screen. So these are the different types of things or the rules which we create with the help of CSS. So for this we'll be seeing the syntax so we'll be seeing first syntax what CSS does or how CSS is written. Okay, so first we are seeing here body. Okay, so what body is that? It is called as selector of our CSS syntax. Okay, so first we write selector, after that we write curly braces. Okay, so inside this curly braces we write properties and values. Okay, so what properties and values does is that we are having someone here, for example we are having property color. Okay, and the value of this color is red. Okay, so like this we can write width property and its value is 100 pixel. Okay, then height, similarly we can write 20 pixel. Okay, so there are different types of values properties and values associated with different different with the help of with the different elements. So you can assign different types of properties and values. So we have to learn these different types of properties and values while developing some projects. Okay, now we'll be seeing uh, some let's learn about classes and ideas. So we'll be seeing this classes and ideas part in the hands-on part, after getting these things done. So we'll be seeing these classes and IDs. Okay, so you can see here, we have changed the fonts like hey I am not boring. Okay, so we can add some fonts with the help of CSS. Okay, so we'll be seeing some basic properties of CSS properties and values, like first property and value is background color. Okay, so we have written here light blue. So what it does is that it will be changing this elements background color to light blue. Then cursor pointer, so what cursor pointer does is that it will change the our cursors like sign symbol to handshake symbol. Like if you hover on the links, you will be seeing when there is some palm like structure. Okay, so this is done with the help of cursor pointer property. Then the next property is text align. So if you want to align text to the center of uh, any tag, you can use text align center. Then the background image property. So if you want to add some background image to some element, you can use background image property, and after that inside this URL value you have to write the URL of your image. Okay, then after that we are having display none. So why display none? So if you want to hide some elements on particular event or condition, so we use display none property. After that we are having font weight property. So if you want to increase the weight of your font, you can use this font weight property. After that, text decoration line through. So what text decoration line through does is that it will cross our text on this like line through. So if we if you have written something wrong in your notebook, you just cross over this text with the help of pen. Okay, so like that, if you want to use this type of effect, you can use text decoration line through. Okay, so these are the different types of examples of properties and values of CSS. Okay, so now you can see here, click on this button. Okay, so after clicking on this button, the message will be pop up like button clicked. Okay, so this type of things, interactive things, is happening on the screen. So if you have seen on some forms like contact here page, if you put some like fields like email, your name. Okay, so after clicking submit button, you will be getting some pop-up like your form is submitted successfully. So how this happens? So this happens with the help of JavaScript. So JavaScript is helping us with the events which is happening on our website. So the logical part or the functional part of our website is developed with the help of JavaScript. Okay, now we'll be seeing like what JavaScript actually does. So JavaScript allows you to change something about the page based on a particular event or condition. So what does it mean is that like manipulating the DOM. So based on a particular event or condition, we are changing the content of our website. Okay, so I have explained in this example, like if you click on this some button, the message is popping up. Okay, so this is some particular event, like after clicking on this button you have to display something. So depending on that, we will be like manipulating the DOM. So what is DOM? The here text is here written like manipulating the DOM. Okay, so we'll be saying first what is DOM. So DOM's long form is document object model. Okay, so DOM is just like HTML source code. So it is a HTML source code, but in the language of JavaScript we call it as you called it as a DOM. So HTML source code or the raw code of HTML is seen by the JavaScript as a DOM. So document object model. So we have written here manipulating the DOM. So JavaScript is used to manipulate the HTML part of our website. So we are changing some tags, we are adding some tags, we are removing some tags. Okay, so this is done with the help of JavaScript. So for that we are calling it as a manipulating the DOM. Okay, now we will be seeing what is JavaScript. So now we have seen so this is some demo code like we have written here. So after clicking on this on this some element, you will be given some message like you click me. Okay, so we will be seeing this code in action. So like this is the basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Students, if you want to revise, we can revise, or we can just start our like practical part what we have done today. Okay, so students, if you have any doubts, you can put in the chat box. I will wait for 30 seconds. So if you have any doubts, any queries, so we'll be again revising this session. Okay, no problem. Okay, there is one doubt from Inamdar Nikunj, like little more information about DOM. Okay, so DOM is nothing like we have seen. DOM is just a HTML part. Okay, the HTML code of source code of our website it is also called in JavaScript language like DOM. Okay, so we'll be seeing again like what is DOM. So I'll be again explaining what extra about like what is DOM, what we use as a DOM. So DOM is just like our HTML source code. So I think you have got that HTML source code is a DOM. So why it is called as DOM, not HTML source code? So what happens is that in JavaScript it will use HTML source code as a tree like structure. So there is one parent element like body tag. Inside that we are having div tags or any section tags, like we are having navigation section, we are having footer section. Inside that we are having some another div tags, like we are having some forms, we are having some contents, we are having some images. So we are having parent child structure inside that. So there is nested structure of parents and childs. Okay, parents inside their child, inside their own child, inside their own child. So this is like, if you see in the broad spectrum, you can see it as a tree like structure. Okay, so there is one master parent like body. Above that we are having HTML tag. Okay, inside that we are having head tag and body tag. Inside that we are having some different tags. Inside that we are having different tags. So JavaScript look this structure as a tree like structure. Okay, so if JavaScript has to access some element, it will access with the help of like so it is having some one document as an object. So why it is called as document object model? As a inside the JavaScript, inside the browser, we are having some global objects, like in JavaScript we are having one data structure called as object. Okay, so object is nothing but just like a properties and values type of structure. Okay, so we are having one global object called as document inside the JavaScript or inside the browser JavaScript. So what happens is that if you want to access some element, we just you can just access with the help of class and IDs or with the help of this tree structure. Okay, so for that if you want to manipulate some HTML part of your website, you can use JavaScript or the document object model. For that like it is a model, it is tree like structure is also called as model. So if you search on this Google like DOM, so I can show you like what actually I am saying, like. Okay, so you can see the structure like here. I think my internet is very slow. So you can see there is one global object called as document. Okay, so that's why it is called as document. Now after that it is an object, so that's why it is called as object. And this is, you can see this tree like structure, so it is called as model. So that's why we call this as a document object model. So you want the like your question is like little more information about DOM. So this is like this is a pick from W3 school. Okay, so you can see there is one parent element or root element called as HTML. Inside that we are having head tag and body tag. Okay, so after that inside this head tag and body tag you are having some like you are having title tag inside the head tag. Then inside that title tag you are having the text or the content of title tag. Okay, so similarly in body tag we are having different types of elements. Inside that there are different types of contents of that own element. Okay, so this tree like structure is called as DOM. So if you want to access this like HTML source code, So JavaScript sees it as a document object model. So for that we are using this concept like document object model. So if you want to access some elements, if you want to access some content of your HTML, or if you want to modify, if you want to delete, if you want to some add, some remove. So if you want to do some these CRUD operations like create, update, delete, read, delete. So this type of operations if you want to perform on this HTML, so you have to use document object model. Okay, so this is the way the JavaScript looked at your code. Okay, so HTML is just like your code. So you can see like we will be saying like what is HTML code. We will be writing some code. So this is just little bit about document object model. So I think you have got your answer clear, like query cleared. Okay, so if you are having any other doubts, like I think I have to revise these things again. So if you have any doubt, you can just see. So we have started our journey in the web development. After that, so we have seen how to access internet. So we use browsers like Chrome, Mozilla, Opera. So there are different types of browsers, like Internet Explorer is also, but it is dead now. Okay, so these types of browsers we use to access the internet. So browser is a software which is installed on your devices to access the internet. So for that accessing the internet, you have to must know the URL of your websites like google.com. Okay, so Google is a search engine. So with the help of search engine, you will get different URLs which you don't know. Okay, so with the help of just query or search parameter. Okay, so like we have written some google.com and we have hit enter on the browser. So what happens is that the request goes from your device to the server of Google. Okay, so Google will understand that the user wants the homepage of our website. Okay, so what happens is that the homepage of our the content of the homepage, like the code of this homepage is sent from the server to our client. Okay, so like this we have seen here helloworld.com. Okay, if someone has developed website and hosted it on the helloworld.com, so what happens is that the content of this website will be displayed on the user screen. Okay, so like you can see the content like hello world, which is displayed on the user's computer. Okay, so this is called as client server architecture also. Like there are different clients and different servers of the same website, and the communication happens with the help of internet. Okay, so after that we have seen what is like what is web development. So web development is a thing like building sites and applications for the world wide web. So world wide web, we have seen the website which is available throughout the internet for throughout the world are included in the world wide web. So the website which are accessible over the internet are called as world wide web. So we also write the subdomain as www. So it is called as the long form is like world wide web. Okay, so developing sites and websites like for the world wide web is called as web development. So as you can see, the whole internet is world wide web. So there are different websites. So every website is developed with the help of the web developers. Okay, so after that we have seen what is front end development, what is back end development. Okay, so in the front end development we are writing the code for the user. So whatever user sees on his screen, it is included in the front end development, like the design of the interface, the user experience, the screens, the images, or the whatever content which is displayed on the screen. It is developed with the help of client side code or front end developer. Okay, then after that the whatever the behind the scenes things are happening, like logical things like signing in user, signing up user, like sending request, sending back requests, uh, like creating databases, managing databases, saving files. Okay, these are a lot of these things are happening behind the scenes of any website. So this is uh, done with the help of backend development or server side code. So this code runs on the server of our website, and the front end code runs on our client's device, like your Chrome browser. So whatever you can see on the screen, it is run on the client side code. Okay, or on the browser of your software browser which is installed on your device, client side code. Okay, so this is front end development, this is back end development. So we have seen like the developer who knows both these technologies like front end development and back end development is called as full stack developer. After that we have seen the basic foundations of front-end development like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So we have seen the analogy like what HTML and CSS and JavaScript with the help of car and the example of our human body. So we have seen hypertext markup language. Okay. After that we have seen what is hypertext, what is markup. Okay. Then we have seen some tags inside HTML. So we have seen CSS like what we use, what is syntax of CSS. After that we have seen classes and IDs, so we will be seeing classes and IDs. Okay, so there are, we have seen some properties of CSS. After that we will be seeing like how we use DOM to um, JavaScript to manipulate the DOM. Okay, so we have seen what is DOM. Okay, then after that we have seen some basic code, like we will be seeing this in JavaScript, like how we will be implementing this code. Okay, so I think we have to stop here and we just have to start with the help hands-on, like what you have done today. Okay, so I'll be moving to the HTML part. So what I will do is that I will just so if you don't know, we are having one. Okay, so we are having one code editor or called as integrated development environment, called as VS Code. So VS Code is just like another text editor like Notepad. You can also write code in Notepad, but for the development purpose, if you want to your code to be visible and to develop very fast, so you must have to use integrated development environment. So these development environments, like these are just text editors with additional functionalities to help develop our code more efficiently. Okay, so you just have to go to their website and just have to click on the download. Okay, so you just can click on this download button and the exe file will be downloaded to your device, like, and you just have to click next, 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 and just tick the requirements, like if you have if you want the path add to your system, so you just have to click on this next, next, next buttons and your VS Code will be installed on your computer. Okay, so after that what you can see on my desktop, there is one, I will create one folder. So today is 5th June. Okay, so I will write 5th June bootcamp. Okay, so this is our folder. So I will just right click on this folder and click on more options. So we will be seeing open with code option will be available here. Okay, so if you don't see this option, you can just go to our VS Code, and inside this file there will be some like option like open folder. Okay, inside this file tab. Okay, so if you don't know, if you are don't having this option like open with code, just click on this file tab and open folder. After that you just have to select one folder, like on this desktop I am selecting this 5th June bootcamp. Okay, so inside this you can see here the explorer tab is here. So inside this explorer tab on the left side of the screen, so inside the explorer tag you can see different types of files and folder structures here. So inside this like our folder, we are having some this empty folder. Okay, so if I click on this if I open this in file explorer, file manager, so you can see there is no files and folders inside this folder. Okay, so I will just create one file called as index.html. Okay, so as you can see here, the file will be created here. You can see in the file manager. Okay, so I will close this file manager. So you can see we have created one file called as index.html. So for creating HTML files, you have to use the extension called as .html.